Have you noticed it? That strange sense of disconnection, that feeling that the world around you is somehow scripted, processed, a little bit off? You scroll through your feeds, you watch videos, you buy things, but there's a hollowness to it all. It doesn't quite feel real. Let me tell you, that's not just your imagination. It's by design. We've stepped into a new era, one that's been quietly built around us. The simulation economy. This is a world where authenticity has become just another product line, and reality itself carries a price tag. The lines between what's true and what's an illusion didn't just blur by accident, they were meticulously engineered. It all started so innocently, didn't it? A fun photo filter here, a helpful recommendation algorithm there. But step by step, the digital replicas of our world started to look more appealing than the real thing. We found ourselves falling for the copy, the version that never aged, never made mistakes, never demanded our patience. And now, look where we are. AI influencers are earning millions without ever taking a breath. Virtual models are gracing runways that don't physically exist. And you pay to watch it, to like it, to immerse yourself in it. The simulation economy isn't just a technological revolution. It's a profound psychological one. Because in a world where anything can be generated on demand, the only truly scarce and valuable commodity left is your attention. And whoever controls your attention ultimately controls your world. Think about the cycle. Every single click you make feeds a powerful loop. Your data is used to create content. That content is engineered to create desire, and that desire is monetized to create immense profit. The illusion itself isn't the enemy. It's the engine that drives this entire system. In this new reality, you are simultaneously the consumer and the product being consumed. But how did we get here? When did the digital world stop reflecting reality and start actively replacing it? Maybe it began the moment we chose to look at screens more than we looked at each other. Or perhaps it started when corporations realized it's far cheaper to simulate a person than to actually employ one. Every AI voice you hear on a customer service call, every deepfake advertisement you scroll past, these aren't just technological novelties. They are calculated strategies of control. The goal isn't just to deceive you once, it's to have you live comfortably inside the deception. Once you start looking for it, you'll see the signs everywhere. Politicians whose faces have been subtly smoothed and perfected by AI to appear more trustworthy. Entire brands run by virtual avatars that never sleep or ask for a raise. You can even find news anchors who never existed, reading scripts written entirely by language models. It's a world where authenticity has become a form of performance art, and you're the audience that's paying for the ticket. The illusion is so effective because, in many ways, it feels better than the truth. Reality is messy, it's flawed, it's unfiltered. The simulation, on the other hand, is optimized, it's customized just for you, and it's monetized for maximum efficiency. Why bother with the complexities of the real world when you can hold a perfect one in the palm of your hand? But there's a hidden cost, and it's not measured in dollars. It's measured in meaning. When everything around you is fake, nothing can truly hurt you. But at the same time, nothing can truly move you either. The simulation economy thrives on one fundamental truth. You will pay for what feels real, even if you know it isn't. And as long as you can't tell the difference, or choose not to, then for all practical purposes, the difference ceases to matter. This is our starting point. This is the unreal world, a place where money, media, and machines have merged into a single, seamless system that feeds on your perception. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the illusion that feels just like home. Before you scroll away, if this is making you think, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with someone who needs to see it. Stick with us, because what we're about to uncover will make you question if anything you see is still real. Once upon a time, influence belonged to people. Actors, musicians, models. They rose, they fell, they aged. But now, we've created replacements that never sleep, never create scandals, and never die. Meet the new generation of celebrities, AI influencers. They have no parents, no passports, no physical limits. Yet they command millions of followers, sign major brand deals, and even spark cultural movements, all without ever drawing a single breath. From Lil Miquela, a computer-generated pop star with chart-topping songs, to Imma, a pink-haired digital model selling luxury fashion in Tokyo, these aren't just experiments. They are the prototype of a new kind of product: emotion, engineered and sold at scale. These virtual beings aren't just designed to imitate humanity, they're designed to outperform it. They never get tired, they never break character, and they certainly never ask for a raise. To advertisers, they are the perfect ambassadors: controllable, immortal, and infinitely customizable. But here's the terrifying beauty of it all. The audience knows they're fake, and they engage anyway. They comment, they empathize, and some even fall in love because in a world of growing loneliness, the illusion of connection can feel more powerful than reality itself. This is how the simulation economy grows, by transforming identity into currency. In this world, personality is programmable. Charm is just a dataset, and empathy becomes a brand feature. Behind every perfect influencer post, there's an invisible team of engineers, psychologists, and marketers analyzing your every reaction. Every smile, every pose, and every caption is tested, optimized, and refined through algorithms designed to extract one thing: your engagement. When you double tap that photo, you're not just interacting with a piece of art. You're training a system to know you better, to understand your emotions, your timing, and your vulnerabilities. And once it knows you, it doesn't just sell you products. It sells your attention to the highest bidder. This is where reality begins to fracture. Because these virtual influencers don't just sell makeup or music, they sell an identity. They tell you what to want, who to be, and what happiness is supposed to look like. And here's the great paradox. We built them to reflect us, but now we're the ones reflecting them. People are reshaping their faces with filters to look more like digital avatars. Entire cultures are imitating trends started by artificial humans. The copy has become the model. The illusion now defines the original. This isn't evolution, it's an inversion. We used to use machines to extend our reality. Now we use our reality to feed the machine. Every click, every share, every algorithmic trend adds another layer of unreality to the world until the authentic starts to feel obsolete. And it's not just influencers anymore. AI voices are narrating our audiobooks, hosting podcasts, and even delivering therapy sessions. Synthetic newscasters read the headlines on local TV. The line between a person and a program is dissolving, quietly and efficiently. This is the future we didn't necessarily vote for, but it's one we liked, shared, and subscribed to. And that's how it spreads. Not through force, but through fascination. Because if we're honest, a part of us wants it. We crave control over what we see, what we feel, and what we love. AI gives us that, a world without unpredictability, without pain. A world so polished that reality starts to feel unfinished by comparison. But when perfection becomes the standard, imperfection becomes invisible. And when you can no longer tell the difference between what's real and what's rendered, you eventually stop looking for the difference at all. The simulation economy doesn't just sell you images, it sells you an escape from imperfection, from boredom, and ultimately from yourself. And while you dream inside that perfectly curated escape, the architects of unreality grow richer, powered by your attention and built from your deepest desires. This is the new religion of the modern age: worship without gods, beauty without bodies, and fame without faces. The followers? Billions. The altar? Your screen. And the deeper you scroll, the more you might believe that what's fake feels more real than what's true. Reality used to be a shared experience. We all looked at the same sky, the same street, the same basic truth. But now, truth has been replaced by rendering power. What you see, what you believe, what you trust, it all depends on the code that curates your world. Welcome to the era of synthetic reality, where everything is real enough to believe, but fake enough to control. It started simply, didn't it? A cropped photo here, a retouched headline there, little tweaks we accepted. But then, AI learned how to fabricate the impossible, and we crossed an invisible line. Now, every sound, every image, every face can be generated, flawlessly, instantly, and without any witnesses. Remember when deepfakes shocked us? Now they're just another form of entertainment. What was once seen as a critical threat to truth has become a standard feature of storytelling, marketing, and influence. The simulation no longer hides, it advertises itself. We see fake presidents giving speeches, celebrities endorsing products they've never touched, and digital doubles dancing on TikTok. In this new world, seeing is no longer believing, it's just consuming. Reality has become an option, and illusion has become a service. The consequence of all this? We've become a population that doubts everything, except, of course, what we want to be true. And that's the simulation economy's greatest trick. It doesn't destroy belief, it monetizes it. When facts are flexible and truth is subjective, reality itself becomes a marketplace. And the richest companies in the world are no longer selling us goods, they're selling us versions of the world. The feeds you scroll through every day aren't neutral. They are powerful algorithms, sculpting personal realities around your attention patterns. Your version of the truth isn't just tailored to you, it's weaponized. Two people can watch the exact same event unfold online and see two completely different worlds. Each version is perfectly real, perfectly convincing, and perfectly wrong. And that's not an accident. That is the economy of perception. Corporations and political systems have learned something incredibly powerful. If you can't make people agree on the truth, you don't actually need to control them. You just need to keep them arguing long enough to sell your products or ideas to both sides. Meanwhile, the technology continues to evolve at a breathtaking pace. Deepfake creators get better every day. AI voice clones can perfectly replicate the voices of our loved ones. Virtual humans can speak languages they never learned. Soon, even your memories won't be safe. Because technology won't just recreate the past, it will rewrite it. Imagine a world where every photo, every voice message, every video you have can be modified. Not hacked, completely remade. A future where digital ghosts of the living continue to exist online, saying things they never said, living lives they never lived. In that world, authenticity becomes the ultimate luxury. And truth? That'll be a subscription service. Because to verify what's real, you'll need the tools made by the very same people who profit from fabricating it. They sell the disease, and then they sell you the cure. The simulation economy thrives on our confusion. The less certain you are, the more you engage. You click, you search, you share, you stay online. Confusion isn't chaos here. It's currency. And while we're busy fighting over what's true and what's not, someone, somewhere, is counting the profit from every single view, every spark of outrage, and every heated argument. Reality doesn't just vanish all at once. It erodes slowly, pixel by pixel, post by post, until we can no longer remember what it felt like to experience something unfiltered. So what happens when we stop trusting our own senses? When our eyes, our ears, and our minds become obsolete in a world that can manipulate all three? You begin to see that the problem isn't the technology itself. It's the transaction. Because in this system, reality is no longer something you live in. It's something you lease. And as the last remnants of authenticity dissolve into a sea of pixels and code, one final question remains. If everything is synthetic, your idols, your news, your emotions, what part of you is still real? Have you ever felt like you're scrolling through a world that isn't quite real? That's not an accident. There's an invisible market that gets richer every time you doubt what you see. Every like, every share, every second you spend questioning if something is genuine, it all feeds a new kind of economy. This isn't a market for products you can hold, it's a marketplace of perception, and the most valuable commodity being traded? Your trust. Welcome to the economy of illusion. In this world, deception isn't a bug, it's a feature, it's a business model. The line that once separated entertainment from manipulation and profit has completely vanished. Not because it was erased, but because someone figured out how to monetize it. Just think about it. Virtual influencers, digital beings with no pulse and no past, are earning more than human models. Major brands are pouring millions into sponsoring faces that are literally just pixels on a screen. Why? Because pixels don't get old, they don't have scandals, and they don't demand a day off. These synthetic humans can sell you anything, from the latest skincare trend to a political ideology, without any of the messy risks that come with being, well, human. And it goes far beyond just avatars. We have digital fashion, where people spend thousands on clothes their virtual selves can wear in a game. We have virtual real estate and metaverses, selling for more than actual homes in some cities. And we have AI-generated art, creating masterpieces in seconds that challenge centuries of human creativity. All of these things feed into one massive, powerful illusion. You don't need to own anything real anymore. You just need to believe you own it. And that belief? That's the new currency. When a digital jacket that doesn't exist sells for $10,000 and is sold out in minutes, you start to realize this isn't about fashion. It's about fantasy. It's about status in a world that's just as real to some as the one outside their window. The big corporations saw this coming years ago. They understood a fundamental shift in human desire. People weren't just buying objects anymore. They were buying meaning, a story, a feeling. And unlike metal, cotton, or plastic, meaning can be copied and pasted infinitely, with zero manufacturing cost. We've stepped into a world where scarcity is simulated and value is programmed by an algorithm. Money no longer flows through factories making tangible goods. It flows through fictions, through compelling stories, through digital mirages, all designed to make you feel something, anything, just long enough to click, buy now. This simulation economy thrives on that emotional transaction. Your feelings are harvested as data points. Your identity, your likes and dislikes, become inventory on a digital shelf. And your attention? Your pure, undivided attention is the most valuable currency of all. Every single second you hesitate over a video, every product you hover your mouse over, every digital heartbeat you give away to an app, it's all being recorded, analyzed, and resold. Somewhere in a server farm glowing like a modern cathedral, an algorithm adjusts itself. Its goal? To keep you slightly unsatisfied, a little bit curious, and always hungry for what's next. It whispers, just one more scroll, just one more video. Because the moment you feel truly satisfied, you stop consuming. You log off. And in this economy, that's a loss. So, the simulation can never let you rest. It has to keep you in a perfect, endless loop of desire, feeding you a calculated mix of dopamine hits and nagging doubt, of pleasure and paranoia. And here's the truly cruel genius of it all. It doesn't matter if what you're seeing is real or fake. The only thing that matters is that you feel something in response to it. That tiny spark of emotion, joy, anger, envy, curiosity, is what turns a manufactured illusion into cold, hard cash. This has gone so far that even our most profound human experiences have a market now. Grief is being monetized. AI chatbots are being trained to mimic the voices and personalities of lost loved ones, offering a conversation for a price. Virtual memorials in the metaverse allow people to visit the dead, but access is sold as a subscription. Technology promises us closure, but what it really sells is a recurring payment to keep the illusion of connection alive. Love, death, fame, fear, nothing escapes the algorithm's insatiable appetite. Because when every human emotion can be digitized, every emotion can be turned into a product. Think about this. The most powerful companies in history are no longer the oil giants or the factory owners. They are the architects of illusion. They don't mine the earth for resources. They mine your perception for data. They carefully shape what you believe, they filter what you're allowed to see, and then they sell you the comforting idea that it was all your choice. So, I want you to ask yourself a question and be honest. When was the last time you felt something truly real? Something completely unfiltered, unbranded, and untouched by an algorithm? When was the last time you had a thought that you were certain belonged entirely to you and wasn't planted there by something you saw online 2 minutes ago? Because here is the truth that most people don't want to admit. Reality still exists. It's out there. It's just not very profitable, and that's why you see it less and less on your screens. We are living in an economy that actively rewards illusion, that punishes raw authenticity, and that celebrates the successful sale of a dream. It's an economy that doesn't care if you're enlightened or lost, happy or miserable, as long as you keep paying attention. The simulation doesn't need to control your body. It doesn't need to be some sci-fi dystopia with chips in our brains. It just needs to make sure you never ever look away from the screen. Thanks for watching, and if this made you think, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. If our digital world is just a sophisticated illusion, then someone must have built it. Every great trick has an architect, a designer who knows exactly where to place the mirrors and how to bend the light. In our world, these architects aren't magicians. They're the silent engineers of the digital age. They are the code writers, the ad system builders, the data merchants, and the platform designers. Not villains, not heroes, just the architects of a world that rewards distraction and dependency. They've turned our screens into mirrors that show us not who we are, but who they need us to be. Imagine this: every tap, every share, every whisper of curiosity you send into the algorithm doesn't just vanish. It's stored, modeled, and sold. In this simulation economy, you are not the customer, you are the resource. And your emotions? They have become the most valuable extractive industry on Earth. These digital architects learned a simple, powerful truth: control the flow of information, and you control perception itself. That's why you see the world through personalized feeds, through algorithms that seem to know your fears better than your own family. They curate your reality, not to enlighten you, but to engage you. Because engagement means time, and time means money. The longer you stay, the richer the system becomes. And so, the architects learned how to keep you inside the maze by making the walls invisible. They feed you opposites: pleasure and outrage, truth and fiction, hope and despair. They learned that balance isn't profitable, chaos is. Because chaos keeps you coming back, trying to make sense of it all. The simulation economy was never built to deceive, it was built to dominate attention. Deception was just an efficient side effect. And somewhere between progress and profit, the architects realized it's far easier to simulate the world than it is to fix it. Every trend, every meme, every viral outrage is part of an invisible economy of control. When you react, when you share, when you rage, it isn't random. You're feeding the machine exactly what it needs most: your emotion. It's not just social media. It's virtual marketplaces, synthetic news feeds, and AI-generated influencers, all guided by predictive systems that know what will keep you feeling unreal, but never empty. A perfect equilibrium of illusion and appetite. The architects don't even need to lie. They just need to optimize. And optimization is just a polite word for control. Every single second of your digital life, from the song you stream to the story you scroll, has been filtered through a system designed not for truth, but for profitability. So ask yourself, who decides what trends tomorrow? Who decides what becomes viral? Who decides what you see when you open your screen every morning? It's not randomness, it's strategy. The architects built systems so vast that even they no longer fully understand them. We have AI models rewriting reality faster than humans can regulate it. Synthetic faces selling synthetic dreams. Digital economies where no one truly owns the product, only the data it creates. And yet there's something hauntingly human in their creation. It's a reflection of our own hunger, to feel seen, to feel connected, to feel real in a world that no longer seems to reward authenticity. Maybe the architects didn't create this illusion alone. Maybe they just gave us the tools to build it ourselves. Because here's the quiet truth the simulation never tells you. You were never just the audience. You were the co-author. Every post, every selfie, every online argument was another brick in the wall of the illusion. You helped build the very virtual world you now feel trapped in. And the architects? They just monetized your participation. They turned your voice into data, your image into a profile, and your attention into revenue. You became both the creator and the product, trapped inside an economy that sells your own reflection back to you. So now, every time you scroll through a feed, every time you double tap or watch an ad, ask yourself, are you choosing or are you being chosen for? Because in the simulation economy, control isn't about censorship. It's about choreography. They don't need to silence your voice. They just need to drown it in the noise. And when you finally start to notice the patterns, the repetition, the manipulation, the déjà vu of digital life, you'll realize this isn't a conspiracy. It's simply a system of profit. And the architects built it to be infinite. If everything around you feels artificial, what does it mean to be real anymore? That question, simple, fragile, terrifying, is the one the simulation hopes you'll never ask. Because the moment you start looking for what's real, the illusion starts to crack. For years, the world has whispered that connection, success, and validation could all be found online. That reality was too slow, too boring, too flawed to compete with the digital perfection of screens. And yet, here we are, more connected than ever, and more disconnected than we've ever felt. The simulation economy promised convenience, belonging, and identity. But what it sold us was substitution, the warmth of a notification instead of a voice, the illusion of choice instead of freedom, the glow of pixels instead of light. You can feel it, can't you? That dull ache after hours of scrolling, that strange emptiness after watching perfection on a loop, that whisper in the back of your mind that says, "This isn't living." And here's the paradox the architects never planned for. When everything becomes synthetic, authenticity becomes priceless. In a world of endless illusion, truth becomes the ultimate rebellion. Reality hasn't disappeared. It's just waiting. Waiting for you to look up from the simulation long enough to see it again. The sound of rain, the imperfection of a friend's laugh, the awkward silence that no AI could ever replicate. That's where life hides now, in the cracks the algorithm can't predict. It doesn't mean abandoning technology. It means remembering that technology was never supposed to replace us. It was supposed to reflect us, but the reflection became so mesmerizing, we forgot to look away. To break the simulation, you don't need to destroy it. You just need to disengage from its rhythm. Slow down, question, choose. Because every time you pause, every time you refuse to feed the algorithm your attention, you weaken its power. Every second of genuine presence with another person, with nature, with yourself, is a glitch in the system. And that's the one glitch the architects can't patch. Maybe reality was never lost. Maybe it's been whispering under the noise all along, waiting for us to remember what it feels like to exist without performance, without filters, without the need for an audience. The truth is, we built the simulation because we were afraid of emptiness. But in running from that emptiness, we gave away the only thing that could fill it: authenticity. Real experience, real risk, real emotion. Somewhere inside this digital labyrinth, there's still a doorway back to reality. It's not in an app, or a feed, or a trending topic. It's in the quiet moments when you choose not to perform, when you stop documenting and start living. So if you've made it this far, if you've felt that strange hollow ache of the unreal world and still stayed, then you've already taken the first step out. The simulation thrives on your confusion, but the truth thrives on your awareness. And awareness, real awareness, can't be coded. It's what makes you human. Because the final secret of the simulation economy is this: it doesn't end when the system collapses. It ends when you wake up. If this made you stop, even for a second, then maybe you're starting to remember what reality feels like. Show some love if this opened your eyes. Hit that subscribe button, share this message, and let's keep digging deeper into the systems shaping our lives. Because the next story might just show you how far the illusion really goes.